could, you know, I could tell you.
Yeah! Oh yeah!
So I did the crickets last time. You can't tell that story. I could tell the whole thing, you know. You know, the whole thing about blues is that it was the first thing except for gospel, which obviously I didn't get to go to that church. I wouldn't like it. Because they looked like they were all having fun with the tambourines, they were playing, they were singing, everybody seemed happy. I mean, I don't know the inside shit, I know that deep down inside everybody got problems. You know, I wanted to be a nun. And I liked the whole black and white thing because it was really fashionable. And I thought it was very French, you know. Except the cardboard thing, I wasn't into that too much. I just thought it was, you know, too constricting. Yeah, well, you know. But you know, the priests, they always had the lovely kind of long gown dresses, because they walked and it kind of flowed, and then they wore pants underneath, very English. You know the whole skirt pant thing? High fashion. You know. And I used to have a priest I used to run to talk to all the time. Yeah, his name was Father Cunningham. I'm sure he's not around, so he won't get mad. And then they, you know, he used to walk up and down with the catechism, and I'd walk next to him, like, hello, Father Cunningham, how are you? And he'd go, how you doing, Sylvia? And I'd go, Cynthia. He'd say, that's nice, Sylvia. And just go up and down. And no matter what I said, he said the same thing. And then one time, you know, I went to confession. Yeah, I used to go. I used to sit outside and watch and see how many Our Fathers and Hail Marys, because you could almost kind of hear if you sat close. So you could figure out how bad you could get away with without sitting there for 3 hours on your knees. And my sister, she was another fanatic of it. You know, see, the whole thing is, when they did the masses, they didn't have the tambourines. But let's face it, they had the gold lame gown with the hat that came to a point and a purse that was on fire. And to me, that was it. And my sister used to do the masses at home. She would, you know, we'd play, because my mother worked, so we would put, don't tell her, if you meet my mother, don't say, oh, hi, don't say nothing. She doesn't know this stuff. So, you know, my sister, she would take Wonder Bread and smash it, and I was always the parishioner, you know, because she always had to do the mass, you know, she had the catechism open. And I always said that that was probably why we didn't kill ourselves, because we not only played that, but we also played Smokey the Bear. You know, we went under the kitchen table, and one of us would take turns. Now, that one we did take turns. One time I would be the careless camper, and one time she would be the careless camper. So don't try this at home because it's very dangerous. And my mother, God bless her, still don't know. And when, you know, I would take the kitchen matches and make a little fire like in a commercial. And my sister would have a pitcher of water like in a commercial. And she, you know, we'd light the fire, and then we'd put it out with the water and look at each other and say, only you can prevent forest fires. Which was sick and crazy. And then my mother would, you know, for Saturdays we'd clean, and she'd be cleaning the kitchen. You guys heard this, right? She'd clean in the kitchen floor, and of course I had to clean too, because, you know, Italians, the kids, the girls. Meanwhile, the boys should learn, because then when they grow up, they're helpless. So I'm cleaning with her, and she goes, what is this sin? It's not coming out. Oh, she didn't call me Sin, she called me Cyndi. It's a big thing not to call me Sin. I liked that name, but she didn't. I used to imagine Sister Sin. And she didn't like it at all. So she said, oh, Cyndi, it's not coming out. And I go, oh, yeah. She said, you know what that is? And I go, I don't know. What is that? Is that gum? snack. You know, I didn't tell her we melted the linoleum. It wasn't good. Yeah. So don't tell her, because she would be, you know, upset. Yeah, well, that's when I would see. But because we did the masses, I was thinking we kept doing the masses, even though we were just doing a reenactment. It might have helped us. It might have been like praying. You never know. She was saying the words and everything, you know. But I wasn't really, you know, I wasn't really deep inside like praying. I was like the guy up the street. I used to walk like him and make believe I was him and get down and be like, well, she was praying on me. Wasn't, you know. But I always dreamt that I would go to that church. I had a dream one time. I was a little kid and I was walking down the road and there was this church and it was rocking and there was so much great music. And I went inside and the guy who was the minister or whatever, leading everybody, he came up to me and he let me sit down because I sat in the back and he let me sit down. He said I was welcome there. And I guess that's because everything on the radio had that spirit. Anyway, one of those people on the radio was this guy I'm going to sing in one of his songs, B.B. King. It's called How Blue Can You Get? Been down hard ever since the day we met. Woo! I've been down hard, baby, ever since the day we met. It ain't nothing but the blues. You want a Cadillac? I bought you no boot dinner. You said thanks for the snack. I let you live in my